Surprises in store at the MCG, and the Lions led at the first change. 3 goals 5 to 2 goals 3, an 8-point lead. We're going to pick it up at the start of the second quarter, and the commentators are Bruce McAvaney, Ian Robertson, and with them, Gerard Healy.
Start of the second quarter at the MCG, entertaining opening term. Fitzroy by 8 points, and Osborne, the multiple goal kicker, with 2. Cloak had to sit and wait with Ironmonger. Here's Broderick, the tackle from Ryan. Lyon, who had 4 kicks in the first quarter and was pretty effective as normal when he gets hold of the footy. Hogg at the back, well played. Dundas backs back. The Bannock tackle was good. Caven put under pressure there by Goodwin. Well played Bunn, who came on for Armstrong in the first quarter. Here's Waitman, who sits and waits. Bannock's handball, good under pressure to Hogg. Left foot round the body, and unlucky there. Bunn takes it and centres it towards centre half forward. Caven in the front spot. At the back, O'Connell. Line goes to ground. Goodwin, handball didn't go anywhere. Caven off the ground, clever. A dash on here. Markov getting back with free, and Harding and a ball in. So deep in attack here, Fitzroy, in the opening minute of this second quarter.
Right forward pocket for the Lions, and Ironmonger stays back. Cloak has to run into defence to do the ruck work. It's knocked to the front. Chance for Hogg. Clearing kick goes out in front of Osborne and Ryan, and it just trundles over for a boundary throw in about 65 to 70 metres away from the Fitzroy goal. Richard Osborne, 2 goals. Actually, I was just thinking coming to the ground that he's one player that Fitzroy have badly missed as far as goal kicking is concerned, Richard Osborne, and surprisingly enough, he's kicked the 2 goals from way down the ground. Richmond get out of trouble and kick it back in towards the centre. Nearly a Fitzroy mark, but picked off there by Lambert. Lambert runs straight towards goal. The pass is not bad, but coming out strongly was Lynch. Oh, clever play, Mitchell. May set it up. Advantage will be paid. Powell from 30 metres out, directly in front, and he kicks a Richmond goal. Tim Powell kicks the Tigers' 3rd goal. They trail by 2 points.
Yes, all explosive stuff again by Mitchell. He set that goal up, gathered the ball on the half-forward line, got it forward. Tim Powell was on the receiving end. The umpire paid a free kick but called advantage. Powell slipped a little bit, so the surface may be a little bit soft, but finished off with a goal, even though it was a bit of a wobbler.
3-3-3-5. Powell getting the goal for Richmond. Some very good play by Mitchell to set it up. Now Waitman's kick out of the centre and gets a bit of distance off one leg, but the mark taken by Baldwin. Quickly plays on to Bunn, who hasn't got a lot to kick to and does it very poorly, and sets up the opportunity for Turner to bang it back over the head. So the Tigers in front at 4-3 to 3-5 for the first time in the game.
Yes, and Mark Bunn is looking around for a hole to throw himself into. Disposal there wasn't good enough at this level. We see Scott Turner can't be more pleased with his performance there. Kicked a nice goal from the construction side wing.
All single goal kickers for Richmond. Mitchell, Powell, Gale and Turner. Tigers a chance once again. Waitman unselfishly to Ryan. Ryan into the pocket, but a diving mark is taken back there by Alistair Lynch. Good player. Lynch runs on and kicks Fitzroy out of trouble. Not a bad kick. Over the head of Blakey. Knights putting pressure on. Blakey's there. Gets the handball back. Shepherding work by Baldwin. Tries to give Lyon the opportunity. Tempted kick off the ground. In there is Bauer doing some good harassing work, and obviously he was pleased with the efforts also of Matthew Knights there, and Richmond hold it in left half forward. They lead 4-3. Lions are 3-5. Capless kick off the side of his boot, nearly marked by Goodwin. Good spoil by Stevens. Excellent smother by Lyon. Bowers a chance. Left foot kick by that player to half forward, and the bounce favours Knights. Knights kicks it, and it's a good kick too to the front of the goals. No mark taken back there. Turner looking for the free kick against Cruz. Turner's still a chance. He'll run in and kick the goal. He'll easily do it. The goal. Scott Turner gets his second, and he's pretty happy. And Richmond get their fifth, their 5-3 to 3-5.
Scott Turner's second goal in a minute, and an individual effort alone. Trapped the ball near the point post, got rid of his opponent in Paul Roos. Saw an opportunity to pedal back and get an open goal. Feinted a lovely handball out to Craig Lambert. Sold the dummy magnificently and waltzed in and kicked a lovely goal.
3 goals in 5 minutes for the Tigers. 2 to Turner and 1 to Powell, and they lead. As Ironmonger gets a big thump, it came off Kapler to Lambert to Smith, having a purple patch here, Richmond, and that is a fine mark by Roos, who was outgunned a moment ago. He's kicked to centre wing, missed by Blakey. Bauer, Waitman, Knights. Takes a fair while to get rid of it. Long handball to Smith. Good tackle to Kapler very late. Roos to Ross Lyon, having a run on the ball. Waitman snares it off him. The flea over the top. Turner. Just another one. Well, a behind to Turner at 2-1. Gee, Waitman clever there, wasn't he, to rip that one off.
A great steal.
Beauty,
yeah, but
wasn't it?
Scott Turner, the player on screen there, had Chris Nash running past. Nash was furious that he didn't handball that ball. He tried to go it alone and kick his third.
Kick in finds Kapler. Kapler's kick out in front there of Blakey, and a pretty kick given against Bannock. Handball over the top. Dundas, he's going to be forced to kick it quickly. It's a bit of a scrubber, but it gathers about 50 metres. Lyon, he could have handballed player O'Connell just a few metres further afield. Still a chance. Osborne, 50 metres from goal. Round onto the right foot goes Richard Osborne and kicks it long and kicks it beautifully. Third goal to Richard Osborne, and he's playing a lone hand in the goal-kicking stakes for Fitzroy. They've kicked 4-5. They trail by 5 points.
Put a 4-5. Osborne with 3 goals. Craig Smith coming off for Richmond a moment ago, and Justin Pickering on has a knee injury. Here's Blakey through the centre. Now it's Fitzroy's turn to attack, and Blakey with a long one off target and through for a behind. So it is an exciting game here. A lot happening. Blakey with one out of bounds on the fall earlier on and now behind. So it's 5-4 to 4-6. Bit of a blow there, Gerard, with Smith coming off and looking to be fairly badly hurt.
Yes, it's a knee injury, or a leg injury, in fact, and it's going to be a real loss for Richmond if he can't get back on the ground.
Fitzroy a chance here. The kick in goes up towards the forward pocket, and it nearly rolls through for a goal, but just to the left-hand side of the goalpost, it's through for a behind coming from Harding. 4-7 to 5-4. So a couple of opportunities gone begging there for Fitzroy.
Good kick by Hogg. Superb. 60 metres to Bauer, to Pickering, who's just come on the ground for Smith. Half forward, Gale the target. Back there, Paxman. Baldwin goes to ground. Paxman to mop up. Uses Roos. Threads a passage through. And does he keep it in? Did Stevens touch it? No.
I was applauding that, Bruce. Actually, I thought it was a very good kick by Roos, but missed out by, what, about half a metre.
Just that breeze you were talking about, that swirling wind got hold of it by the look of it at the end. Pickering's kick back to centre half forward. Oh, strong mark by Gale.
He's a good player, this young man.
Kick to Scott in the pocket. Is it going to be cut off? It will be by Lynch. And not a lot of percentage in that. It had to be just so accurate. And Lynch is a very good athlete, able to make up ground. Used as a forward principally early on in his career, and now in the back line. Ironmonger, here's Mitchell, usually creative. Sells one dummy, a bounce. Steadies up and kicks to an empty goal square. And it's bounced through from behind. So Richmond at 5-5 to Fitzroy 4-7. Mitchell, who was on the end of a very suspect goal in the opening quarter. You'd bet London to a brick it was a behind.
I think everybody was betting London to a brick on that he was going to kick that to the front of the goals too, and he tricked everyone and kicked it at the goals himself. Blakey gathers it, slips over, handballs it, and eventually over the shoulder. Maybe the advantage will be paid. It is. Roos has the football. He's asking players to move, looking for Stevens, punched away. Richmond are a chance here. Knights leaves it for Ryan. The bounce is awkward, but Knights is there. Gets the handball further back for the Tigers. A bad fumble by Cloak. Lets Fitzroy in with a chance. Now it's Harding. Harding's kick is a little bit up and underish. Up towards full forward. No mark taken. Back there under pressure is Bannock, but he does it pretty well for a youngster, and he gets Richmond out of trouble. Good, strong break of a tackle by Knights. Handball over to Wakeman. In turn to Powell. Powell slips. Richmond are going to be an awful strife here, and a free kick will go to Fitzroy. The Richmond player holding onto it just a little too long.
Baldwin's kick to Ironmonger. He should use Paxman, and he does at centre wing. The drop punt on a long lead is Harding with him free. And just going back to that a moment ago, Gerard, they almost did it at such a high pace, Richmond, there was no control in the end, and that's what happened when it finally got to Gale.
Yes, the Richmond players all ran forward, and their disposal at pace is probably one of the things that lets them down at the present time. And we see the umpire here has lost the ball over in the construction site. I was told by the officials here that in one game they lost 10 balls.
What are they retailing at?
They'd be about 120 for a Tommy Sherritt, wouldn't it?
Actually, if you had any enterprise and you're a young bloke, you'd hop over there, wouldn't you?
Always thinking, Robbo.
Hey?
1,200, Robbo. It'd be a good day's work if you're a young fella.
Well, you'd want it just to have the footy, wouldn't you, Bruce? Have a brand new footy, nearly?
It'd be lovely.
It'd be terrific stuff.
35-31. There's Tony Free, former club champion. Now Cloak. And you almost, we've done it again, have we?
Tell you what, he's got two in a minute if he's over there somewhere, Bruce.
Well, I always feel like Cloaky worked with somebody there.
Actually, will you excuse me for 10 minutes?
Oh, so it's a bit of a pity, though, the game being held up and Richmond leading by 4 points. I was going to say, Gerard, a moment ago, you almost feel sorry for Cloaky every time he goes for the big round arm with that arm heavily bandaged, but obviously doesn't do him any harm.
Yes, I'm not so sure what the reason behind that is. It's only a piece of rubber, and most people have them to keep it warm, but the way Cloaky throws his arms around, I'm sure they'd be warm anyway.
Half forward, and Fitzroy attacking. Here's Lyon, who's taken a long, long time, and then finally goes over the top, and the kick by Caven. So the Lions back in front at 5-7 to 5-5.
Well, that was a sensational goal by Caven. He was on his left foot, and he did the check side punt to thread that through, so it was quite good under pressure after Lyon had almost muffed the entire attacking thrust with a little bit of indecision, but he eventually got it to Caven and converted very well.
So Fitzroy hit back. They lead by 2 points. Richmond kicked the first 3 goals of this second quarter. Tigers go to centre half forward. Punched on by Turner. Naish fumbles, but he's able to recover and gets his left foot to the ball, kicks it high towards centre half forward. No mark taken there by Pickering, but Wakeman's there to pick up the crumbs. He's got plenty of time. He's just about standing still and goes back to the other veteran, David Cloak. Cloak's left foot kick to the goal front, and a good mark taken by Jimmy Wine back there in the goal square. Hand passes away to Lynch. Lynch has got time, but forced in the finish to kick it close to the boundary line to Mitchell, and Mitchell is caught with a football and bundled over, so we'll have a throw in. Richard Osborne appeared from nowhere then. Michael Mitchell obviously feeling that he had a second or two to spare.
Well, great example of the gang tackle there with it's always a second tackle that players are brought down by.
Broderick across to Blakey, and wobbly one to centre wing. Lyon, now Stevens, a good kick by Stevens. Caven unable to take it, missed by O'Connell, goes to ground, off the ground by Free was all right. Lovely take though by Wine, and the kick's a good one to O'Connell, who appreciates it.
O'Connell played quite well for Fitzroy in their game against St Kilda in Hobart. He kicked, I think, maybe 3 or 4 goals and did very well, but
Almost pulled it out of the fire in the last quarter.
He did too, yes. Actually, that wasn't a bad game by Fitzroy.
Actually, I like that attacking move. Caven should have marked that, but the delivery was magnificent.
And O'Connell's kick is to the near side, so missed there for Fitzroy. O'Connell's first direct kick at goal. They lost by 13 points down at Hobart. It was a good game. Locker kicking a bag, but Fitzroy coming home pretty well, and at that stage the Saints were flying pretty high.
Yeah, Fitzroy, I suppose it could have been a bit of a fillip for them down there in Hobart if they'd have pinched that game, but no luck. Ball at half-back, Ironmonger. He's been paid the mark. Plays on quickly. Stevens may kick a goal, Brett Stevens. Long drop punt kick. Fitzroy mark in the square taken by O'Connell, and he's pretty happy with himself after that effort. Right in the goal square, so he'll kick from nearly directly in front. Just a slight angle. So he may make up for that miss just a few seconds ago. He puts it straight through. David O'Connell, 1-goal-1. And Fitzroy sneak away once again. They lead by 9 points.
5-5, 44-35. So a turnaround here after Richmond kicked 3 goals in 5 minutes. Here's Waitman. Good smother, though, by Baldwin, who's played all right. Blakey, high tackle, should be a free kick. It is. So suddenly the pendulum has turned, and it's with the Lions at the moment. He's kicked the centre half forward. That's a good mark. Under pressure by Kapler.
Was Bruce, yep.
There's a little hole there, and he was able to fill it. Had 10 touches in the first quarter. There's a change coming up for Richmond as Kapler goes very short to Broderick and still probably too far out, and he's going to come across the ground to Bunn and find him. So some loose checking there by Richmond. Trent Nichols coming on the ground.
Alistair Scott having a rest.
It's amazing that Nichols is not a starter when you think of his form earlier in the season.
Yes, he's had a fairly up and down year, Trent Nichols. I'm sure he'd be disappointed with it, and I guess he'd be looking now at having a huge pre-season and all eyes set on a big 92.
Mark Bunn, the 20-year-old, to kick from about 40 metres, 45 metres where he'll kick from. And a goal here would be handy. Drop punt, geez, kicked it well. His first, and the Lions pinch a little break here at 7-8 to 5-5. That's the biggest margin of the game so far.
Yes, Mark Bunn, an outstanding play in his debut season last year. Second best and fairest, when really nobody basically knew who this young fella was. Has struggled this year through injury. Bit of a groin problem, but kicked a lovely goal there to give Fitzroy a good lead.
Back in the centre, 5-5, 7-8. Ironmonger doing pretty well in the centre square. Stevens having a good match, and so is Waitman. They go on top of Waitman, look for a free, don't get it. And it'll be a ball up.
Let's just have a look at this ruck contest. The way Cloakey's doing, he's running in early, making body contact with Ironmonger, pushing him out of the way to cover his height.
Cloak takes the ball, but finishes up with Bauer. Now a chance for Turner. Sweeping hand pass gives Powell a chance to run and gather the ball nicely. Left foot kick by that player, may bounce through. Right up in the goal front, Gale kicks a Richmond goal, and he did it well in the finish. No, what's happened there? Missed.
No, it was a diving spoil by Paxman. He just got a finger on it.
I'm going to say that Richmond kicked the first 3 goals of the quarter. They proceeded from 2-3 at quarter time to 5-3 in 4.5 minutes, and before that behind kick by Gale, they'd only kicked 2 behinds in the next 15 or 16 minutes, and Fitzroy turned around and kicked 4 goals to have this handy advantage at the moment. Roos marks the kick in, gives the hand pass back to Lynch. Lynch is able to run around that half back and runs a full distance too far, and he will be penalised. So that's the experience there of umpire Brian Sheehan. He decided that the guy had gone too far. Nichols kicks into the forward pocket. Good lead and a good mark, good strong mark taken by Gale in front of Lynch.
He just looks a little bit tall for Paxman at the present time. I'm not sure they've got too many options, particularly with Brett Stevens up on the half-forward line, so possibly they're just going to have to grin and bear it and hope that Paxman can keep this fellow to a reasonably ordinary day.
So I owe Alistair Lynch an apology there, do I? He marked in front of Paxman.
Exactly.
Brendan Gale, chance for his second goal. It's a good long kick to the front of the goals. Punched away, down to the front. Waitman may make something out of this. No. Broderick will clear. Lovely hand pass. Baldwin kicks to safety. Does he? It bounces just inside and then goes over for a boundary throw in. The oohs and ahs, obviously, coming from all fans down there quite near the players' race where the 2 teams into the arena.
It is a real skill, Robbo, that waiting the ball just to dribble it over the boundary line, isn't it?
My word, that was a great kick.
Cloak and Ironmonger. Dundas round the body. about 30 metres towards line. Just looking at Baldwin and Jim Wine, they must have gone to the same hairdresser on the same day.
Yes, two very ordinary jobs.
Oh, come on.
Ironmonger and Cloak. Gerard Healy with special comments. Lyon, well played. To Bunn, who's had some touches since he's come on. A good-looking kick to centre half forward. O'Connell against the tide to Harding, who can steady and kick a goal. Drop punt. Here we go. Misses. Gee, that would have been handy at 7-8 to 5-6. Now 7-9 to 5-6.
Well, coming to this game, I would have thought Richmond had a distinct advantage in the run area, but Fitzroy have taken away the Richmond running machine by the manning up tactics, and it looks like Fitzroy's got the strength in the running department.
Hogs kick in to half back. Fitzroy have got the numbers. Now a chance for Broderick to pump it back into the goal square. And lovely long kick, bounces and bounces to the wrong side. Through for another behind of Fitzroy. Well, with a little bit of good fortune, they may have got 2 goals out of the last 3 or 4 minutes up on their forward line, but no siree at the moment. 7-10 plays 5-6. We've got 8 3/4 minutes left in this second quarter. Kick in and an easy mark. Far too easy there to Bunn. And I don't think Kevin Bartlett will be too impressed so far. He'll have plenty to say, I feel, to his Tiger players at half-time. Bunn goes short. Oh, I don't know whether that's good play. Gerard, is it?
Well, Bunn is an excellent kick, and I think pumping the ball long would have been a better option. He's not much closer to goal now. But Bunn's had 6 possessions. He's only been on the ground a very short time. He's had a dramatic influence on this game.
He's a good kick, this fellow, Broderick. Maybe Bunn was lacking in confidence and gave it off to Broderick. This is a great kick. It's a goal. That's why he gave it to him.
Certainly method in his madness, Robber.
The biggest break of the match to date, 8-10 to 5-6, a 22-point margin, and going to attack again. Good play, though, by Bannock to chop the Stevens handball off and then look for a free kick against Kapler. And nothing happening as far as Brian Sheehan's concerned. Dundas, Kapler, Jeff Caulfield umpiring with Brian Sheehan today. So this is an important period for Richmond. They wouldn't want Fitzroy to stretch the lead. Well, Ross Lyon might be just the man to do it. Usually a good kick for goal. And they're away, the Lions. 9-10 to 5-6. And Lyon gets his first.
Well, that was great play by John Blakey. He sharked Clokey's tap out in the ruck. Cloak won the battle of the big men there, but tapped it straight to John Blakey, who drew a player, whipped it out to Ross Lyon, and he kicked a lovely goal. And Ross Lyon is one of the players that we need to see slip himself a bit, because he is one of the very talented players on this ground.
David Cloak having his problems this afternoon. The ruck contest with John Ironmonger taken away by Lambert. Lambert's right foot kick is just a little ordinary. Puts Naish under a bit of pressure. Wind is back there, so is Broderick. Now Waitman, caught by Wine. Well done, Jimmy Wine. And he's rewarded with that brilliant, persistent tackle with a free kick.
It's a good go, this bloke.
He is, Gerard, and I don't quite know whether he gets the plaudits that he deserves. The kick towards half forward. Chance there for Harding. Away to Osborne. Osborne may kick a goal. There's a bit of space for him. Around onto the right foot goes Richard Osborne. It's coming back, and it's another Fitzroy goal. Richard Osborne has kicked his 4th goal, and experience showing there. The Lions, their team spirit, you can see it down there on the ground. They're patting each other on the back, cheering each other on, and they really are doing it well so far.
Well, confidence is an amazing thing. Richard Osborne, fairly ordinary over the entirety of it, but today he's been fantastic. 4 goals from the wing.
10-10, 5-6. Fitzroy's kicked the last 7 goals of the game after Richmond kicked 3 in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. Brett Stevens playing his 100th around the body. Chance for Tony Free after it was missed by Ryan. I think Maracroft's come off after that goal. Missed by Knights. Mitchell. Cloak. Knights. Bangs away to fall forward. Gale falling over at the wrong time. Lynch to Roos. Left foot, centre wing. Lyon, who's had a good second term. Well, that was brilliant to Kapler, who's got Osborne about 20 metres in front of him. High drop punt by Kapler, Caven and Stevens. Caven, a great mark by the youngster. Well, if they keep going like this for the next 5 minutes, Jared, they'll be so far in front of the lines that it'll be a winning lead.
Almost, I'd say, Bruce. That Caven, he's got some potential, isn't he? We've seen him kick a couple of goals. He's taken a great mark there in a pack. Brett Stevens backing into him, but he had eyes only for the ball and took a strong mark, and hopefully will go back and kick his second. Although I've probably just put the moz on him.
What a turnaround in the last 15 minutes of this game. Peter Caven, low left foot drop punt, and he kicks it superbly. 11-10 to 5-6.
For the Lions all season, they banged on 8 goals 6 to 4-4 to bust the game wide open and lead 77 to 43 at half-time. We pick it up at the start of the second half.
Start of the second half of the MCG. Fitzroy with this very handy lead at 11-11 to 6-7. There've been some changes made. Jared Healy will pick them up in a moment for us. Here's Ironmonger. Quick giveaway by Stevens was all right. Broderick's handball to Dundas, to Osborne, who kicked 4 in the first half. Will he go all the way with the left foot? It's a good kick for a distance behind a Richard Osborne with 4 goals won. Leading goal kicker at the club for 4 consecutive years, 86 through to 89. Bannock to bring her back in 11-12, 6-7, and Jared, there's been a few changes.
Yes, well, we saw that Gale started in the ruck, but he's immediately gone to centre forward, and Cloak, who started on the half-back line, has now run onto the ball. So just a change of emphasis in the centre bounce for Richmond.
Good mark from the kick in to Donato, who gave the hand pass away to Broderick. Broderick's kick into the goal square, and a big punch coming back there from David Cloak.
The other one, of course, is that Jeff Hogg, much to the applause of the Richmond crowd, has been shifted to full forward.
And Jared, we noticed that there wasn't a lot of unity in the match committee for the Richmond coming back onto the ground. We saw Michael Green walking around on his own, KB on his own, and no unity whatsoever. Eric Leach and Emmett Dunn. So the Tigers...
It's difficult times for all the Tigers.
Certainly is. They get the ball up to half forward. Now the bounce, and it was good for Gale. Now a chance for Ryan. Ryan's hand pass. Looks there for Bauer. Terrific bump by Lynch. In comes Gale. Gale may have kicked a goal. No, he's missed to the left, and that really was what Richmond badly needed. A goal at the start of the third quarter, and in trouble after that clash with Lynch's Bauer, and limping back towards the back line. Baldwin for Fitzroy. A lovely long kick to half forward. Powell, Dundas. Powell's got it, and Dundas has got his jumper, and now Dundas will be...
There's another change. Anyway, Robbo, Powell was on the half forward line and is now on the half back line. We see Craig Smith hobbling along the boundary line with crutches. He's obviously got a fairly serious knee injury, I'd imagine.
Rue's handball across half back to Donato. Donato's hand pass is not bad. Bounce will favour Broderick. Gets onto the favoured left foot. Round further. Runs through the centre. He's had 3 bounces. Now he's forced to kick quickly. Probably should have kicked after the second bounce. The Tigers will rebound. Chance there for Ryan. He gets it away to Nichols, and Richmond have the ball at half forward.
Good kick by Nichols to Pickering. Hogg provides the lead. Oh, great mark. And listen to that Tiger roar.
I imagine this man would be, if there is any disagreement or argument in the Tiger camp, this man would be the focus of it, I would imagine. Playing a guy who's kicked 48 goals at full forward, at full back, is a... well, I guess it's an interesting move, to say the least, Bruce, and this fellow is no doubt Richmond's best forward option at the present time.
Leading goal kicker in the club in 88 and 89, and he's been at full back for a number of weeks. Drop punt, kicks it straight through the middle. 7-8 to 11-12. Hogg kicks his first, and if ever Richmond wanted something to stimulate them in the second half, they've just received it.
Yes, well, one of Jeff Hogg's strengths is his hands, and it was a fine grab out in front, taking a difficult mark, ball floating a little bit, and also a strength of his is his kicking, and he made no mistake, and that is the goal that Richmond needed, and I think we're in for a pretty interesting third quarter.
28 points, Fitzroy's lead. Ironmonger gets the tap out of the centre, taken away there by Broderick. Long kick to full forward, but the mark is taken by Cloak, who, as Gerard has mentioned, is playing a loose man on that half-back line. The hand pass, they may mess this up. Fitzroy, it's still a chance at half-forward. Picked up by Lyon. Lovely hand pass, gives the chance to Kapler, and Kapler has banged it straight through the centre. Bad mistake by David Cloak. The ball just seemed to slip off the end of his hand, and the hand pass went nowhere.
Well, I think he was in two minds, Robbo. He went to handball. The Fitzroy defenders covered the target that he was going to give it to. Didn't quite have the ball control to resurrect the situation. Ross Lyon jumped on it. Great vision. Saw Darren Kapler, who steadied on his left foot and slammed home the goal into the wire behind the goal net.
Interesting ruck set up here. Ironmonger, nobody at all behind him. The other 6 players in the centre square behind the Richmond ruckman and Gale. The kick forward, but Roos comfortably having a pretty good match to Baldwin. Goes inside to Paxman. Centre half forward. Bannock getting back. Over the top, Broderick's had a very good match. Good play, Lambert, to get back. Broderick scoops it out. Dundas with the run of it. Round his body with a high one. A good one. An excellent kick for a goal.
It's a free kick. No, I think it's a free kick to all clear, was it?
Well, it was a free paid to O'Connell and then the advantage paid. Maybe that's what's happened. 13-12 to 7-8. Dundas kicks his first.
Well, the umpire must pay the free kick first because he's not to know what the goal umpire's decision was. He then runs down and checks with the goal umpire, as we saw. And Dundas, he really did kick that up into the jet stream. It just floated and floated, as you called, Bruce, and finished off with a pretty nice goal.
And the Lions seem to have the answers here at the MCG. Ironmonger doing very well at the centre bounces. Knight's handball over the top gives Waitman the opportunity. From centre half forward, Dale Waitman kicks long, and another mark taken there by Jeff Hogg in the right place, in front, on his chest.
Well, there was a fair bit of luck involved there, and the Fitzroy players would be cursing their luck, I imagine, because that was a real mongrel kick. It dipped, it floated, it turned. Terry Alderman would have been happy with the work he put on that ball.
Well, more importantly for Richmond, Jeff Hogg has the football about 15 to 18 metres out directly in front, and I think he's kicked it. He has. Jeff Hogg gets his second goal, and it's 2 goals each at the start of the third term. 8-8 the Tigers, and Fitzroy are 13-12.
To the margin, 33 points. It's still substantial. A couple of quick Richmond goals would change all that. Mitchell, a long way out after a long kicking by Lynch, called to play on. Gets around a couple very cleverly and bangs it to an empty goal square.
It's pretty poor disposal in the end, though, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And that's the problem you do when you go around players. You then put yourself under pressure. You end up kicking under pressure, and disposal is always not as effective.
Free kick to Blakey against Waitman, who was out of position, and it was a reasonable attempt. Here's Kapler. Brett Stevens, his target. He's outnumbered. He goes to play as a defender there, and the ball out of play. 100th game for Stevens. Kicked the first goal of the match, and you're just looking at Waitman's figures of 7 and 13.
Well, it's been an interesting battle between Blakey and Waitman. You'd have to say the Flea's well on top at the present time, but Blakey's making him earn every possession, and he's in fact had 21 himself.
Down goes Waitman. Chance now for Powell, and Powell will receive a free kick. Indiscriminate tackle there by Dundas. Powell will kick Richmond back into attack, up towards half forward. No mark taken. Good little hand pass by Wine to Roos. Kapler's brilliantly tackled by Waitman. Surely that's a free kick for Richmond. I can't believe it. Is it because he couldn't do anything with the football when he was tackled, Gerard, that he's not rewarded?
I think it was possibly the perfect tackle, and the umpire deemed that he didn't have an opportunity to get rid of it, but he tried to go round Waitman. So that, for me, justifies any free kick to Dale. And he is one of the great tacklers of the AFL for such a small player.
Yes, that was a beauty. Here's a chance for Roos. Handball over the top. It went to Paxman, in turn to Osborne. Osborne's long kick. It's a good kick. 50 metres, up towards full forward. Ball to the back. Caven goes in turn to Harding. Harding's kick across goals. Fitzroy mark, and it's a good one. taken there by Stevens.
So I thought Des Ryan added a little bit of interest on the way down there as well with a leading forehand.
Is that a tennis shot or a...
Well, I thought it might
play
have
of
been
footy?
more a pugilistic type.
Brett Stevens, 7 kicks, 4 handballs. And he's kicked 1 goal. A chance for his second. Probably should get the distance. He's kicking from just inside 50 metres. Drop punt kick is good. Fitzroy get another goal. And he's done a pretty good job, Brett Stevens, at centre-half forward. 8 kicks and 4 hand passes, and that's his second goal.
Yes, I would have said he was Fitzroy's best player at half-time. His value has not only been his possessions, but he's been running around, doing some shepherding, some great tackling. We see him taking a fine mark under some extra pressure from Des Ryan, who's been shifted to centre-half back.
14, 12, 8, 9. Again, you can see everybody on the Fitzroy attacking side from that bounce down. Mitchell brilliantly. Oh, the Ruse tackle was okay when you think about it. Advantage paid. Waitman misses. Behind. 8, 10, 14, 12. Gee, it's surprising when you look down the other end of the ground and you see that Craig Lambert, one of the great playmakers for Richmond, sitting back there as a tagger on Harding. Bit strange. And he's had a quiet day, Lambert, but he's not going to create a lot from back there, is he?
No, it's a strange move.
Well, the Tiger, obviously Kevin Bartlett thought he had to get him out of that contest with, who was he playing on?
Chance now for Lyon. Lyon goes to Broderick. Broderick, who delivers it beautifully, and this is a beauty. And he hits Caven right on the chest, well within scoring distance.
In fact, it was Broderick that was his opponent in the first half, and he was well on top, so Bartlett really didn't have any option. And as we've seen in other games yesterday, with Greg Williams being so badly beaten in the centre, at least with Lambert's pace, he's got the option of going into another position.
Here's Caven for his 3rd goal. 35 metres out, directly in front, and it looks pretty good from here. So Peter Caven, one of the less experienced Fitzroy players, gets his 3rd goal, which is not a bad performance. In a scoreline for the Lions of 15-12, Richmond are 8-10.
Yes, well, Caven's only a young player, one of the players that Fitzroy would be hoping to build their future on. He's had a pretty good day, though, up forward.
8, 10, 15, 12. And this is the biggest margin in the game to date. Fitzroy been able to go on with it since half-time. Cloak and Ironmonger. Ironmonger's won the centre. He is free. Round the body. Too far for Blakey. Gale cleverly. Waitman. Back turns. Sets it up with a good kick. Well played, and the mark paid to Hogg, and so it should have been.
Well, Alistair Lynch did very well there. I thought he was only half a yard behind Hogg.
Yeah, but I think Hogg did have control of the ball when he knocked it away.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals in the 3rd quarter after starting and playing the first half at fullback, where he's been playing for the last few weeks. Hogg with a drop punt, and he's missed it. So Richmond get their score up to 8 goals, 11 to 15-12, and Hogg has 2-1. At least he's given the Tigers a focal point up forward. Ruse to bring it back in.
Kick goes to the outer side. Cloak nearly takes the mark. Picked up by Lynch. He's able to get the hand pass away to Bunn, and Bunn runs away from half back. The kick towards centre half forward, and a good mark, an excellent mark to Harding. Handball away to Osborne. Osborne round onto the right foot. A little chip kick. Ross Lyon's got plenty of space out here. May give the hand pass away. No. Around the neck, a soft free kick. It's against Lambert. Lyon will have a shot.
Yeah, pretty lucky free kick there to Lyon, because he did go to play on, and he was going to be swamped by Richmond players. And a pretty poor attempt at tackling there allowed him to get away with it.
And he was obviously a little concerned about the distance, so he's just given a little pass away to Kepler. Kepler, who has good penetration with his left foot. Let's see what he can do. Lovely kick. It's a goal. Darren Kepler gets his second goal. And I may have sounded a little blasé there, but Fitzroy have just taken it right away from the Tigers. And in this third term already, they've kicked 5 goals to 2, and they lead comfortably 16-12 to 8-11.
Well, an insurmountable margin you'd fancy here at 108 to 59. Gale, after Cloak won the tap. Dundas off the ground by Wine. Here's Lambert and Harding. Gee, Harding must be quick because he's taken Lambert on and beaten him. Not a bad kick for a goal, is it? 17.
And to three-quarter time, leading 17-13 to 11 goals 14. Now let's take a look at some highlights of the last term at the MCG.
Powell has the football now. Running through centre wing. Kicks it into the pocket. Not a bad pass, but Lynch has done some good work. Here's a chance for Gale. Away to Free, and he does well to get around Ruse. Free's kick into the goal square. Richmond goal surely through Ryan.
Sit, wait, Powell, who likes to run with it, and he's away, and he set this one up nicely for Pickering.
Justin Pickering from the right wing here at the MCG. Good kick, and he's found Hogg.
He's led up the middle, which is a far higher percentage than if you're leading into the flanks and the pockets.
Hogg from directly in front. Lovely kick by Jeffrey Hogg, and he's got his 5th goal.
Pack of Richmond players behind Ironmonger. Knights looks for a free kick. Gets worried out of it by Wine in the end of Broderick. They're hunting in numbers here. Lyon uses Cattler, who could goal. Drop punt, goes for it and puts it through. A bit like Greg Williams yesterday with 5 and 5. You wouldn't read about his Broderick with a bounce. He's got an open goal. Drop punt, another one. They're celebrating now.
Tapped on by Osborne. Tapped on by Kepler. Chance for Caven. Left foot kick by that player up towards full forward. O'Connell, great mark. Couldn't possibly miss this, could he, Jared?
Well, one wouldn't think so, but after I've called a few shockers today, so I'll go with him.
O'Connell kicks from the square and makes no mistake. That's centre half back for Richmond. Naish, sweeping hand pass. No one there for Richmond. 2 against 3. The 3 are Fitzroy players as Broderick kicks a magnificent goal.
So the Lions getting just their 2nd win of the season, victory by 59 points over Richmond. What a day for Fitzroy. Goal kickers, Osborne kicked 4, Caven, Broderick and Kepler each kicked 3, and for Richmond, Hogg, once he was moved to full forward, kicked 6 goals. The curtain